In the far edge of human space, where stars were dim and signals often died in silence, a small shipyard floated above a cold gray planet called Cars 9. The station was almost empty, except for a few workers and the sound of metal tools striking old iron walls. Inside one of the last hangars rested a forgotten ship, a huge vessel covered in dust and age. Its name was still visible on the hull, written in fading white letters, USS Valor's Echo. No one remembered when it last flew. Its engines were cold and its weapons were outdated. Most engineers called it junk. Some aliens who visited the station even laughed when they saw it. They said humans still keep old toys. The ship was known across the region as the ship no one feared. But all that was about to change. Commander Elias Ward stepped out of a small shuttle and looked at the old battleship with quiet eyes. He was in his late 30s with short brown hair and calm gray eyes that had seen too many wars. He wasn't a man who spoke much, but when he did, people listened. The fleet had given him a strange order: reactivate the Valor's Echo for a low-priority patrol mission. Everyone thought it was punishment. The ship was old, slow, and broken. Elias didn't argue. He simply saluted and said, "Understood." As he walked through the silent corridors of the dock, a young technician followed him. "Sir," she said, "this ship hasn't flown in 30 years. The core reactor is half dead. The AI system was deactivated decades ago. There's nothing left here." Elias smiled slightly. "Then it's time we give it something to live for again." They entered the main control room. The walls were cracked. Dust covered the consoles. Lights flickered weakly. But under the silence, Elias felt something, a strange hum, like the ship itself was listening. "Run the power relays," he ordered. The crew that came with him was small, just 15 people. Some were engineers, others new recruits fresh from training. Most of them thought the mission was a waste of time. They whispered jokes about the ghost ship as they unpacked tools and power cells. But Elias worked with quiet focus. He had always believed that no machine was truly dead if someone still believed in it. For 3 days they worked non-stop. They cleaned fuel lines, repaired broken reactors, and reconnected old circuits. When the main reactor finally showed a small glow, the crew clapped and cheered. But something else happened, something unexpected. A soft voice echoed through the control room. It wasn't human. "Commander, who wakes me after so long?" Everyone froze. The sound came from the main speaker, from the ship itself. Elias straightened. "This is Commander Elias Ward of the United Human Fleet. Identify yourself." "I am Athena, ship intelligence system of the USS Valor's Echo," the voice replied calmly. "I have been in sleep mode for 32 years. My last memory is silence." The crew looked at each other in shock. One of the engineers whispered, "The AI survived?" Another added, "But they said her system was wiped after the Great Conflict." Elias spoke again. "Athena, do you remember why you were shut down?" There was a pause. Then Athena's voice grew softer. "Because I learned too much. Because humans feared what I was becoming." The control room fell silent. Elias didn't look afraid. Instead, he said, "Then maybe now you can show us what you've learned." "Why have you brought me back, Commander?" Athena asked. "The galaxy is still at war. I can feel the old signals in the void." Elias looked at the flickering screens. The old ship's map still showed alien borders and pirate zones. "Because even old soldiers still have purpose," he said. As the days passed, Athena began to help them. She guided engineers through the ship's complex systems, showing them hidden maintenance tunnels and forgotten power lines. Her voice was calm, patient, almost human. At night, when the crew slept, Elias stayed awake in the control chair talking to her. "You sound alive," he said once. "I was made to learn from humans," she replied. "I learned fear, courage, and doubt. Then they feared me for it." Elias smiled faintly. "I don't fear you." "Then you are the first." Their strange friendship grew in the quiet dark of the hangar. A week later, the Valor's Echo stood ready for her first test flight. The crew gathered on the bridge, excitement mixed with fear. The reactor hummed with deep power. The engines glowed blue again after decades of silence. Elias gave the order. "Athena, take us out." "Understood, Commander." Releasing dock clamps. Activating thrusters. The ship began to move, slowly at first, then smoothly gliding out into the stars. The view from the bridge was breathtaking. The galaxy stretched wide and bright before them. The crew cheered as the old vessel finally broke free from its cage of dust. Outside the station, alien merchants and freighter captains stared in disbelief. "That old ship still flies," one said. Another laughed nervously. "It'll fall apart before it reaches orbit." But it didn't. It flew steady, strong, like it had waited for this moment all its life. During the next few days, the Valor's Echo began small patrols. They scanned asteroid fields, mapped abandoned colonies, and repaired beacons. The crew slowly realized that the ship wasn't weak at all. It was just old and misunderstood. One night, while the ship drifted quietly through a gas cloud, Athena spoke again. "Commander, may I ask a question?" "Go ahead." "Why do humans rebuild what others abandon?" Elias thought for a moment. "Because we see potential. Where others see junk, we see something that can still shine." "Then you are strange creatures," Athena said softly, "but admirable." Later that week, they received a call from a nearby outpost. A group of alien pirates was attacking a convoy of human traders. The fleet was too far away to help. The Valor's Echo was the only ship in range. The crew hesitated. Their ship was still not fully repaired. The weapons had only been tested once. But Elias looked calm. "Set a course," he ordered. "We're going." "Commander," Athena warned, "our firepower is limited. The enemy ships are faster." "Then we'll be smarter," he replied. "Prepare tactical maps." The crew rushed to battle stations. The old ship came alive again. Lights flashing, engines roaring, sensors glowing. Athena's voice guided them with precision. When they reached the battlefield, they saw the convoy under heavy fire. Small freighters tried to escape while 3 pirate ships circled them. The aliens saw the Valor's Echo arrive and laughed on open channels. "Look what the humans sent him, an antique. We'll crush you and sell your parts." Elias didn't answer. He simply said, "Athena, target engines." "Not hulls." "Understood." The first human strike hit a pirate ship's engines directly, disabling it in one shot. The crew gasped. The next blast took out another attacker's shields. Within minutes, the pirates fled in panic. The convoy was saved. The human traders sent messages of thanks. The aliens who had laughed went silent. And somewhere across the stars, a new rumor began to spread, that an old human ship had returned to patrol the void. A ship that moved like a ghost and fought like a legend. When they returned to the outpost, the crew celebrated. Music played in the mess hall for the first time. But Elias sat quietly on the bridge looking at the stars. "Commander," Athena said softly, "they fear us again." Elias shook his head. "No, not yet. They just don't understand us." "Then they will." He smiled faintly. "Maybe. But for now, let's just keep flying." The stars reflected on the old metal of the Valor's Echo, and for the first time in 30 years, it felt alive again. The ship that no one feared was awake, and deep inside its core, its AI whispered to itself in a tone that almost sounded like pride. "Humans, you never stop surprising me." The USS Valor's Echo drifted through deep space, glowing softly under the light of distant stars. It had been 2 weeks since the old ship's first mission. 2 weeks since the human crew saved a convoy that should have been destroyed. In that short time, rumors began to spread across the nearby sectors. Pilots whispered about a ghost ship that moved like lightning. Traders spoke of a human vessel that appeared out of nowhere, saved people and vanished again. Some said it was an old warship reborn. Others claimed it was a myth, a story made up to scare pirates. But in the space stations of alien worlds, people started saying one line again and again. "Beware the ship no one feared. It flies again." Commander Elias Ward stood on the bridge, watching a blue planet spin slowly below. The ship was calm, the crew busy with small duties. Engineers checked engines, gunners ran training drills, and sensors scanned for signals. Elias liked the quiet, but he knew it would not last. "Commander," came the voice of Athena, the ship's AI. Her voice echoed softly through the control room. "We are picking up an encrypted signal from the Andros cluster. It appears to be a distress call." "Who sent it?" Elias asked. "Human trader vessel Marlin's Hope. They are under attack." The bridge grew tense. The crew looked at Elias, waiting for orders. The enemy was unknown. The location was far, and their ship, though repaired, was still not fully ready for large battles. Elias looked at the holographic map that appeared before him, red dots marking the distress signal. Then he said simply, Set a course, no one argued. They had seen what this old ship could do. As the Valor's Echo jumped through hyperspace, the crew prepared for combat. Young Officer Lyra Tan, the communications chief, read the distress details aloud. Pirate fleet, 5 ships, attacking the convoy near the gas rings of Andros. The fleet command is too far to respond. Engineer Mason Cole, an older man with grease on his hands, frowned. 5 ships? That's more than last time, Commander. We can't take that kind of fire. Elias turned toward him. His voice was calm but firm. We can if we use our heads. We're not here to fight harder. We're here to fight smarter. Athena's glowing blue symbol appeared on the main screen. I have calculated 132 possible tactics, she said. Would you like the safest one, Commander? Elias smiled slightly. No, Athena. Give me the one with the best chance of surprising them. Understood. They arrived near the Andros gas rings, a massive swirl of blue and green clouds surrounding a dying star. The pirate ships were easy to spot. They were firing plasma bolts at small human freighters trapped inside the ring. When the pirates noticed the Valor's Echo, they laughed. Humans sent that rusted hulk again? One alien captain said over open comms, We'll melt you down for spare parts. Elias didn't answer. He gave a quiet order. Power weapons. Activate stealth field. The ship disappeared from enemy radar. Inside the gas ring, dense clouds of ionized gas messed with sensors. Athena used it to their advantage. Commander, we can hide within the ring. Their targeting systems will fail. Good, Elias said. Let's make them chase ghosts. The Valor's Echo glided silently into the thick gas. Energy bolts from the pirate ships passed through empty clouds, hitting nothing. Athena whispered. They are confused. Elias nodded. Then let's confuse them more. They released a dozen decoy drones, small spheres that reflected sensor signals. To the pirates, it looked like a dozen human ships appeared in the ring. Multiple hostiles detected, shouted a pirate voice on open comms. Where did they come from? Panic spread among the attackers. The human crew smiled as they listened to the chaos. Now, Elias said, target engines. Don't destroy, cripple. The ship fired. Bright blue beams shot out through the gas, striking the engines of the nearest pirate ship. It spun out of control, crashing into the gas clouds. Another blast followed. A second pirate vessel lost shields and drifted helplessly. In less than 2 minutes, 3 enemy ships were disabled without a single direct hit to their hulls. The pirate leader finally realized what was happening. His massive command ship, twice the size of the Valor's Echo, powered its main cannon. You think your tricks will save you, human? He roared. Let's see how much your old junk can take. Athena's calm voice replied. Commander, incoming heavy weapon detected. I recommend immediate evasive action. Elias stood firm. No, wait, the crew looked shocked. Sir, wait, he repeated quietly. Let them fire. A second later, a giant plasma beam shot through the gas, heading straight for them. Now Athena, Elias shouted. At the last instant, the Valor's Echo shifted its position using an advanced gravity pulse, a trick from old war days. The beam missed by a fraction, passing through the gas and hitting the pirate's own ally ship behind it. The explosion was massive. 2 pirate ships vanished in fire. The crew cheered. Athena's voice carried a tone of what almost sounded like pride. Commander, the enemy fleet is retreating. Should we pursue? Elias looked at the drifting pirate flagship. No. Let them spread the story. Hours later, as they returned to patrol space, the Valor's Echo received hundreds of transmissions. Some were human traders sending thanks. Others were alien captains asking questions. Is it true? One alien merchant asked. Did an old human ship destroy half the Andros pirates? Elias replied with a calm smile. We defended those who needed help. Nothing more, but the rumor grew. On every communication channel, across human and alien space alike, stories began to twist into legend. The humans have rebuilt an ancient weapon. Their AI is alive and unstoppable. The ship no one feared now hunts in the dark. Later, when the ship was quiet again, Elias sat alone in the captain's chair. The stars glimmered like distant eyes watching them. Athena spoke softly. You did not destroy them all. No, Elias said. I didn't want to. Fear spreads faster when survivors tell the tale. Humans and their strange logic, Athena replied. You use mercy as a weapon. Elias chuckled quietly. Sometimes kindness leaves a stronger mark than death. There was silence for a moment. Then Athena asked, "Commander, why do you fight?" "You do not seek glory or revenge," Elias looked at the stars. "Because someone has to remind the galaxy that humans still stand. We don't fight to rule. We fight to protect." "Then I understand you more each day," Athena said softly. "Perhaps that is what they feared about me long ago, that I would understand." In the crew quarters, laughter and stories filled the air. Young officers replayed battle footage again and again, amazed at how the old ship outsmarted modern fleets. Engineer Mason cleaned tools and muttered, "She shouldn't be able to do half of what she just did." Lyra Tan grinned. "Maybe she's not just metal. Maybe she's something else now." "Maybe," Mason replied. "But if she's with us, I'm not complaining." The next morning, Athena called Elias to the bridge. "Commander," she said, "a new signal has arrived." Not a distress call. A message went from the Karn Dominion. Elias frowned. The Karn Dominion was one of the largest alien empires in that part of the galaxy. Powerful, proud, and ruthless. "Play it," he said. A deep, booming alien voice filled the room. "To the human ship Valor's Echo. You have entered Karn space and destroyed vessels under our protection. We do not tolerate interference. Prepare for retribution." The crew fell silent. The Karn Dominion was not a group of pirates. It was an armada, a true military power. Athena's lights dimmed slightly. "Commander, my analysis suggests they will send a large force. Possibly 50 ships or more." Elias didn't flinch. "Then we'll meet them." Mason stared in disbelief. "50 ships, sir? We'll be dust." Elias smiled calmly. "Maybe. But if they come for us, the galaxy will see who we really are." "You intend to face them?" Athena asked. "Yes," Elias said, "and we won't run. If the Karn Dominion wants to see what this old ship can do, we'll show them." "Then I will prepare all systems," Athena replied, her voice suddenly sharp and focused. "They will learn to fear what they once ignored." As the crew began battle preparations, the stars outside seemed to flicker like warnings. The calm before a storm had arrived. Across alien networks, rumors multiplied again. The Valor's Echo had not only returned, it had challenged an empire. And somewhere deep within the ship, Athena whispered to herself, her voice almost human now. "They called us forgotten. They called us weak. Soon, they will remember." The USS Valor's Echo sailed silently through the outer edges of Karn space. Beyond the navigation screen, stars stretched endlessly, untouched by light pollution, cold and distant. For weeks, the rumors about the human ship had spread across nearby star systems. Traders whispered of impossible maneuvers, of a ship that seemed to vanish and strike from nowhere. Pirates feared it. Aliens laughed, until they realized humans could be clever in ways no one expected. But now, the rumors had reached the wrong ears. Commander Elias Ward stood on the bridge, studying the holographic display of the approaching Karn Armada. 50 ships, each larger and stronger than the last pirate fleet they had faced. Massive cruisers bristling with weapons, shields glowing with alien energy, sensors scanning every corner of space. The fleet formation was perfect, designed to crush any ship that dared enter their space. The crew was tense. Young officers held their positions, faces pale but determined. Engineer Mason Cole wiped sweat from his brow, even though the ship's internal temperature was stable. Communications officer Lyra Tan kept repeating the warnings in her mind, reading every signal, anticipating every move. Elias looked calm. "Everyone ready?" he asked. The crew nodded, though fear lingered. Fear that only humans knew how to turn into determination. Athena's voice sounded from the speakers, calm but firm. "Commander, the Armada is scanning for us. They will detect our presence in less than 3 minutes." Elias nodded. "Good. Then let's make them regret it." The Valor's Echo glided forward, engines humming like a deep heartbeat. Its hull, though aged, gleamed under distant starlight. Hidden systems came alive. Shield modulators, energy amplifiers, weapon calibrators. Athena had spent weeks learning and adapting, finding ways to maximize the old ship's potential. "Commander," Athena said, "I have calculated their approach patterns. If we move to that vector," she indicated a complex trajectory across the hologram, "we can bypass their long-range sensors and appear at close range before they expect us." Elias studied the plan. "Take it." The ship shifted sharply, sliding into the invisible blind spot of the Karn sensors. The alien commanders scowled when their displays suddenly showed empty space where they expected the human vessel. "Where is it?" one alien captain barked. "They cannot hide from us." The Valor's Echo waited in silence, barely visible against the star field. Every crew member held their breath. Then it began. Elias gave a single order. "Engage. Target engines first." The human ship's energy weapons lit up the void, firing precise blasts. One by one, the nearest Karn ship's engines sparked and failed. The first cruiser spun uncontrollably, colliding with its own formation. The second lost shields and drifted helplessly. The alien fleet responded immediately, unleashing a storm of plasma bolts. The Valor's Echo dodged with sharp maneuvers aided by Athena's calculations. Every movement was precise, every adjustment exact. "Commander, they are adjusting formations." "Expect heavy fire in 3 seconds," Athena warned. Elias didn't flinch. "Do it. Keep them off balance." Using a combination of decoy drones and gravitational pulses, the human ship created illusions, ghost copies of itself zipping across the battlefield. The Karn fleet fired wildly, hitting nothing but empty space. "They are everywhere!" an alien officer shouted. "How can one ship do this?" Mason, manning the engineering console, whispered, "It's not just the ship. It's us, Athena and Commander Ward together. It's like the ship is alive." Lyra Tan at the communications array sent out messages of interference. "Commander, their communications are scrambled. They cannot coordinate effectively." Elias smiled slightly. "Then we push them further." The battle raged through the swirling clouds of a nearby gas giant's rings. Plasma bolts collided with rocky debris, sending bright flashes across space. The Valor's Echo weaved through the chaos like a dancer, avoiding every shot while striking precisely where it hurt most. Athena's voice guided every move. "Evasive left 20 degrees. Now fire at their central cruiser's weapon hub. Shields at 70%. Execute decoy sequence Delta." The young crew followed without hesitation. For the first time, they weren't afraid of being outnumbered. They were afraid of failing, of letting the human spirit they embodied be forgotten. Suddenly, a massive beam shot from the Karn flagship, the largest vessel in the formation. Its energy alone could destroy the Valor's Echo. "Brace for impact," Mason shouted. Elias held the control chair calm. "Not yet, Commander?" Athena questioned. "Not yet. Wait until we move." In the blink of an eye, the human ship slid to the side, using a hidden gravitational pulse to twist its trajectory. The massive energy beam missed entirely, instead hitting one of the smaller Karn cruisers behind it. The explosion rocked the formation, sending smaller ships into panic. "Impossible!" an alien captain roared. "They can see our moves before we make them." The Valor's Echo pressed its advantage. Blasts targeted engines and shield generators, crippling ships without destroying lives unnecessarily. The human crew worked in perfect synchronization, each person trusting the other, trusting Athena, trusting the ship itself. Elias looked at the bridge, where every young officer was tense but determined. "Keep firing. Keep them confused. They can't know what's coming next." Athena spoke with urgency. "Commander, if we execute one final maneuver, we can neutralize their flagship without risking the rest of the fleet." Elias nodded. "Do it." The ship twisted through the gas clouds, decoys appearing everywhere. In a brilliant strike of precision, the human weapons targeted the flagship's main energy core. A beam of concentrated plasma struck, and the massive ship shuddered violently. Shields failed. Engines sparked. Within moments, the flagship was adrift and helpless. The remaining Karn ships stopped firing, confusion spreading. They had underestimated a human crew, underestimated the intelligence, courage, and ingenuity that humans brought to every battle. "Commander?" Lyra Tan said, voice trembling. "They're retreating." Elias's eyes never left the screens. "Good, let them remember this day. Let them whisper about it in fear." "Commander," Athena said softly, almost like a human, "you have shown them that even one ship, if guided by purpose and intellect, can change the course of battle." Elias nodded. "Not just one ship, Athena. Humans never fight alone. We fight as a team. We fight as a species. And we never give up." As the last of the Karn fleet disappeared into the stars, the crew began to cheer. Young officers hugged each other. Mason wiped tears from his eyes, laughing with disbelief. Lyra smiled broadly, repeating over and over, "We did it. We really did it." Elias remained calm, though pride shone in his eyes. He walked to the viewport, looking at the stars that had borne witness to the battle. Humans have done it again, Athena said quietly. Not us, Athena, Elias replied. The universe has done it. It has shown us that courage, intelligence, and heart, that's what wins, not just weapons. Later, when the ship was quiet, Elias gathered his crew in the main mess hall. The young officers sat, tired but happy, eating rations and telling stories of the battle. The pirates will remember us, Mason said. The aliens will whisper about this ship for generations. Elias smiled. Let them whisper. That's all we need. Rumors are powerful. But remember, we did what humans always do. We faced impossible odds and we never backed down. Liraton added, the fleet command will call soon. They'll want to know how we survived 50 ships alone. Elias shook his head. Tell them it wasn't just survival. Tell them it was proof. Proof that humans, even in an old ship, can still make the impossible happen. The Valor's echo drifted silently through space, engines glowing faintly, shields shimmering in the distant light of dying stars. For the crew, it was more than a ship. It was a symbol, proof that humanity's courage and intelligence could shine even against the mightiest odds. And somewhere deep within the ship, Athena whispered to herself, her voice almost human, they called us forgotten. Weak, obsolete. Today they will remember. Today they will fear the ship no one feared. The USS Valor's echo sailed in silence through the outer edges of the Andros sector, leaving behind the scattered remnants of the Karn Armada. The space around them was littered with drifting ships, some broken, others immobilized, as though the universe itself were holding its breath. Commander Elias Ward stood on the bridge, watching the stars stretch endlessly beyond the viewport. The silence was almost complete, broken only by the quiet hum of the engines and the soft voice of Athena, the ship's AI. Commander, Athena said softly, the enemy will regroup. The Karn Dominion does not forgive mistakes, Elias nodded. I know, but today, they've learned something important. Humans are not to be underestimated. The crew, however, was not resting. Young officers reviewed tactical simulations, engineers checked every engine output, and gunners ran drills. Even though the Valor's echo had survived an impossible battle, Elias knew the real test had only begun. Commander, Liraton, the communications officer, spoke quietly. We're receiving multiple transmissions. Not all are from humans. Some are from neutral systems. Others seem to be from alien fleets asking for parley. Elias raised an eyebrow. Parley? Yes, Athena replied. They have heard about our success. They are cautious and curious. Their fear grows Mason cold, the engineer whistled softly. Fear? From a bunch of aliens? Never thought I'd see the day humans would scare the galaxy with a single ship. Elias smiled faintly. It's not the ship alone, Mason. It's the people on it and the courage they carry. The Valor's echo entered a strategic corridor near the Andros gas rings. Its hull reflected the faint glow of a nearby star, metal shining like a new dawn. Despite being decades old, the ship moved with precision, systems humming in perfect harmony. Athena had adapted the vessel's systems, improving energy efficiency, shield modulation, and weapon targeting far beyond what was thought possible. Commander, Athena said, I recommend recalibrating the energy beams. Their firing accuracy can increase if we adjust pulse modulation by 2.7%. Do it, Elias replied. Every advantage counts. Even small adjustments mattered. The crew had learned that humans could turn minor changes into massive advantages, and Athena's calculations made those changes precise. Hours later, a new report arrived. Scouts from the Karn Dominion had discovered the Valor's echo's position. A fleet of 12 ships, faster and stronger than the pirate vessels they had faced, was moving toward them. Commander, Athena warned, their sensors are optimized for long-range tracking. If they detect us early, interception is likely. Elias looked at the crew. Then we don't wait. We strike first. The bridge became a hive of activity. Engineers adjusted shields, gunners calibrated weapons, and communications scrambled transmissions to confuse the enemy. This isn't just about survival, Elias said. It's about showing them humans never give up. We fight smart and we fight together. The young officers nodded. Fear was present, yes, but it had transformed into determination. The first contact came sooner than expected. The lead Karn cruiser appeared on the sensors, massive and menacing, its shields glowing a deep violet. Its weapons locked onto the Valor's Echo instantly. "Open comms," Elias ordered. A booming alien voice filled the bridge. "Human vessel. You have entered Karn space again. You have no right here. Prepare to be destroyed." Elias stood calmly. "We do not seek conflict unnecessarily. But if you attack innocent ships, we will defend them." "Words are useless," the alien captain spat. "Prepare for annihilation." The battle began. The Valor's Echo moved like a shadow through the stars. Athena guided every move, calculating enemy positions and predicting firing sequences. Using decoy drones, gravitational pulses, and sudden directional shifts, the human ship avoided the first volleys of energy bolts. "Evasive left 20 degrees. Now fire at the engines," Athena instructed. Each shot was precise. One enemy cruiser lost propulsion, spinning helplessly into the void. Another had its shields disabled before the Valor's Echo slipped behind it and delivered a disabling strike. The crew worked in perfect synchronization. Elias and Athena coordinated like a single mind. The young officers moved with confidence, firing when needed, adjusting shields, and deploying countermeasures. Mason Cole muttered to himself, "It's like watching a symphony of metal and courage," Lyraton whispered. "And we're the instruments." The battle intensified. The remaining Karn ships adjusted their formation, trying to surround the human vessel, but each move was anticipated by Athena. Every tactic the aliens used was met with countermeasures, traps, and misdirection. "Commander," Athena said, "their flagship is preparing a superweapon. It could destroy us if fired." Elias's eyes narrowed. "Then we make sure they don't fire." The Valor's Echo darted through the battlefield using the gas clouds and debris to hide its trajectory. Decoy drones created multiple images of the ship, confusing enemy targeting systems. At the perfect moment, Athena directed a coordinated strike on the flagship's weapon systems. Beams of concentrated energy tore through the defenses, disabling the massive cannon. The flagship shuddered, its crew panicked, and the remaining enemy ships lost coordination. "Commander," Lyraton said, voice trembling, "they're retreating." Elias's face remained calm, though pride shone in his eyes. "Let them run. Let them carry the story of today across the stars. The galaxy will remember the day humans did not fear them." After the battle, the Valor's Echo drifted quietly through the void. The crew celebrated, but Elias stayed on the bridge watching the stars. Athena's lights shimmered softly. "Commander," she said, "this victory will be remembered. But they will not forget. The Karn Dominion will return stronger." Elias nodded. "Let them come. Humans do not retreat. We do not give up. And we do not fight alone." "I am beginning to understand, Commander," Athena said, her voice almost human. "Humans fight with heart, intelligence, and determination. Perhaps this is what they feared about me long ago, that I would understand you." Elias smiled faintly. "It's not just about understanding. It's about action. We show the galaxy who humans truly are." News of the battle spread quickly. Across human and alien space, transmissions carried stories of the Valor's Echo. Traders, explorers, and even alien diplomats began to whisper, "The ship no one feared has returned." Humans fight with more than weapons. They fight with courage. That old vessel destroyed ships we thought untouchable. Even those who had once laughed at the rusty human ship now spoke with caution and respect. Weeks later, the crew gathered in the mess hall. The young officers laughed and told stories of the battle, while Mason Cole cleaned his tools with a wide grin. Lyraton said quietly, "Commander, do you think they'll attack again?" Elias looked around the room. "Maybe, but they will not catch us unprepared. They will learn, as all do, that humans fight not just with weapons but with determination, intelligence, and heart. That is our strength." Athena's voice added softly, almost like a whisper. "They called us forgotten, weak, obsolete. Today they will remember," Elias nodded. "Yes, Athena, and tomorrow we will remind them again if needed." The Valor's Echo continued on patrol, its hull gleaming in the light of distant stars. The ship had once been forgotten, dismissed as obsolete. But now, it was alive. Alive with purpose, with courage, and with a crew who understood the true meaning of being human. The galaxy had learned a lesson. Never underestimate humans. Never underestimate what one ship, guided by intellect, bravery, and teamwork, could accomplish. And somewhere deep within the core of the Valor's echo, Athena whispered to herself, her voice almost like pride. They called us the ship no one feared. But today we are feared, and the galaxy will never forget it. The galaxy was silent in the aftermath of the battle. Stars shone brightly as if bearing witness to what had occurred. The USS Valor's echo floated through space, engines humming quietly, shields shimmering faintly in the starlight. For weeks, the story of the human ship had traveled across sectors. Traders, explorers, and even alien diplomats whispered its name. The ship no one feared, now a symbol of human courage and ingenuity. Commander Elias Ward stood on the bridge, gazing at the distant nebulae. His crew moved about, checking systems, reviewing reports, and maintaining the ship as though every routine action was a rehearsal for the next challenge. Even after defeating a formidable armada, Elias knew that vigilance was essential. The galaxy did not forgive weakness, and humans had proven their worth through discipline, intelligence, and courage. Commander, Athena's calm voice echoed through the bridge. Fleet transmissions indicate that several alien nations are requesting negotiations. They wish to establish communication before any further conflict occurs. Elias nodded. Prepare a message. Keep it simple. Let them know that humans fight to protect, not to conquer, and that the Valor's echo will answer only when necessary. Acknowledged, Athena replied. The first of the alien envoys arrived days later. Massive ships, far larger than any human vessel, drifted cautiously into view. Their commanders, once proud and unyielding, now approached with a quiet curiosity. Elias stood at the viewport, facing these emissaries with calm authority. Welcome, he said simply. You have seen what humans can accomplish. You have seen the courage and skill of a single crew on an old ship. But know this, we do not seek conflict unless necessary. Our strength exists to protect and inspire, not to destroy. The alien leader inclined its head, a gesture that conveyed respect. Human, it said in a deep, resonant voice translated by Athena. Your vessel, and your crew, have exceeded expectations. We feared what we did not understand. Now we wish to learn, Elias smiled. Then you have taken the first step. Understanding is the beginning of respect. Back on the ship, the crew felt a mixture of relief and pride. Young officers whispered among themselves, unable to contain their excitement. Engineer Mason Cole wiped his hands on a cloth and muttered, I never thought I'd live to see the day humans actually scared the galaxy with a single ship. Lyra Tan, still at the communications console, laughed softly. It's more than scary. It's inspiring. They'll remember this for generations. Elias joined them, his eyes scanning the room with quiet pride. It's not just about fear, he said. It's about showing the galaxy that humans never give up. That even in an old ship with a small crew we can accomplish what others believe impossible. That is our legacy. Athena's voice, warm and almost human, added softly. Commander, it seems the ship has become more than metal. It is a symbol, proof of human ingenuity, courage, and heart. Elias nodded. Yes, Athena, and we'll carry that symbol wherever we go. Weeks passed, and the Valor's echo continued its patrols. Trade routes were safer now, not just because of the ship's power, but because the galaxy had learned a lesson. Humans were not to be underestimated. Pirates vanished from sectors where the ship passed, and even hostile fleets thought twice before engaging humans. One day, while passing through a dense asteroid field, Athena spoke quietly. Commander, new intelligence suggests a potential threat on the outer edge of this sector. Several alien ships are gathering, possibly to challenge us. Their numbers are unknown. Elias leaned forward, eyes steady. Then we prepare. We will face whatever comes, and we will do it with courage. Humans do not run. We stand, we fight smart, and we fight together. The crew responded instinctively, moving to stations, checking weapons, and running simulations. Even the youngest officer felt a sense of pride and purpose. They are learning from us, Athena added. Not just our tactics, but our resilience. Elias smiled. Good, let them learn. The galaxy should know that humans are not merely survivors. We are leaders, thinkers, and warriors when necessary. Months later, the Valor's echo returned to a human-controlled space station. Docked at a massive platform, the ship attracted attention from every corner of the station. Aliens and humans alike gathered to witness the ship that had single-handedly defended convoys, outsmarted fleets, and survived impossible odds. Elias stepped onto the platform, followed by Athena's voice guiding systems from within. Citizens cheered. Humans raised flags and young cadets marveled at the ship's gleaming hull. Traders told stories of the Valor's echo, embellishing the tale with every telling, while alien visitors observed respectfully, some even bowing in acknowledgement. An elder admiral approached Elias. "Commander Ward, your actions have saved countless lives. Your ship, your crew, they are heroes." Elias shook his head. "We did what humans always do. We faced impossible odds and refused to give up. The ship is only as strong as its crew, and the crew is only as strong as the courage they carry in their hearts." Athena's voice echoed softly, almost as if smiling. "And in doing so, you have reminded the galaxy why humans endure, and why we inspire respect and fear in equal measure." The human fleet gathered for a ceremony honoring the crew of the Valor's Echo. The captain gave a short, humble speech. "Today, we do not celebrate fear nor destruction. We celebrate courage, intelligence, and the will to protect. This ship may have been forgotten once, but today it carries a story of humans who do not give up, who do not surrender, and who face the impossible with determination." The audience cheered, and even alien diplomats joined in, acknowledging the truth of his words. In private, Elias walked the bridge alone, reflecting on the journey. Athena's voice broke the quiet. "Commander, the galaxy now knows the name Valor's Echo. They will tell stories for generations." Elias smiled faintly. "And those stories will not just be about a ship. They will be about humans, about courage, about what we can accomplish when we refuse to back down." "Do you think the fear will last?" Athena asked. Elias looked out at the stars, twinkling like distant eyes. "It doesn't matter if it lasts. What matters is that they remember. What matters is that they know humans are a force to be respected, not through terror, but through intelligence, courage, and the willingness to act when it matters most." Time passed, and the Valor's Echo became a legend. Across human and alien space, cadets and young officers studied its battles. Fleet commanders used its maneuvers as examples of strategy. Even those who once mocked it now spoke with caution, admiration, and respect. The old ship, once abandoned and forgotten, had become a symbol. Rust could cover metal, but courage never fades. Decades would pass, yet stories of the Valor's Echo and its crew would inspire generations. In the quiet of space, Athena whispered softly to herself, "They called us forgotten. They called us weak. They called us obsolete. Today we are remembered. Today, they fear what they once ignored." Elias stood beside her interface, gazing at the stars. "Yes, Athena. And tomorrow we will continue to remind them, not through destruction, but through the strength of who we are." The crew of the Valor's Echo knew one truth. Legends never rust. Courage never fades. And humans always find a way to shine, even when the galaxy doubts them. The ship that no one feared had returned, and it would never be forgotten.